So when he goes back to the house to get some of his stuff, the mom is there, super nonchalantly, just going through shit like ain't nothing happened, but she knows she wrong.
Hey, she told her, she said, "Man, I know they already got in your head, so go ahead and go."
Just
I
go ahead,
was like,
go
shit.
about your business, go get your shit or whatever. Like I'm just like, damn. Like so he's sitting there like just taking it all in. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she knows she caught. You know what I mean? At this point, she feels like she's gonna be judged for what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and he's like, this is where it kicked in for me. Like I was like, damn, that shit kind of it was a tear didn't fall, but
Hey,
it was one of the
hey,
ones.
when I tell you both of their speeches,
Yeah.
boy, that's what I was doing. The church room was like,
I
but she
was
was
like,
breaking it down. Yeah, that's like
I was eating my nachos, like
what she because she it's just so it's crazy. Whoever wrote this, it's crazy how they still had the mother-son respect.
mhm.
But he's like confused on it because she's like, she went to say, she was like, "You want to talk? Let's talk." She's at the table. She was like, he came and sat down. She was like, "Go over there, get my cigarettes." He's like, "You was just over there. Go get him."
Yeah.
It's like he still had in his mind that respect. He's still calling her mom.
You are now tuned into Black on Black Prime.
Disclaimer, like I said, every episode, we don't care if we liked it or not. We still watch your shit, and congratulations to you. We support you, and shout outs to you, nigga, because you made it. We don't know you. We're watching this. Your movie. Anybody around the world can watch your shit. You made it, my nigga. You famous. You good.
Just like always, if you didn't ask for our opinion, we didn't ask you to listen to it. So sorry.
Click it. Turn it off.
We back.
Hola.
And we black.
Some of us.
Yeah, he have.
I ain't half a goddamn thing. I'm black.
half on half crying.
I ain't half of a goddamn thing. We back for another one. This one is called 1001, starring TEYANA Taylor. What's the black dude name? He a good actor too.
Yeah, I know I've seen him in some other stuff. William Catlett.
Yeah,
he's been in a lot of things. When I saw his face, I was just like, where was he? What was he in?
I seen him in a lot of shit.
He was in Lovecraft Country. Remember that movie? Remember that movie we watched? The Devil I Know. He was the brother.
Yep, he was the brother.
Yeah, and Black Lightning. He was in.
Yeah, he looked like dude from you seen Crooklyn? You know the uncle.
On time ago. Yeah.
The uncle in Crooklyn or Sugar Hill, the one the shicey ass basketball player. He was like, "I'm gonna let you suck my dick." He looked like dude. Hey, that scene pissed me off. Every time I think about it, when I was little, I saw it. I was like, "Fuck this dude."
Yeah, shit. Never has been.
Like, fuck this nigga. But so 1001. You want to read the plot? Because I don't want to try to.
Well, I mean, first of all, I thought this movie was directed by TEYANA Taylor for some reason. I don't know where that came from, but I think she had something more to do with it other than just starring in it. But it was directed by A.V. Rockwell and written by A.V. Rockwell. This movie, I mean, I could read what it's about, but I mean, I feel like we could have our own opinion too. You want to just want me to read it? What it's about?
We could just break it down then, because I don't want to, you try to sum up the movie's about. Takes place in I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
So after an unapologetic and fiercely loyal Inez kidnaps her son Terry from the foster care system, mother and son set out to reclaim their sense of home, identity, and stability in a rapidly changing New York City. Yep. Credit.
Jumping into the movie. So my favorite types of movies is movies where they just put you in the world and don't explain shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they just drop you in. So that's basically what they did in this one. We start off TEYANA Taylor's in jail. Right. And it's 1994 in New York, whatever prison that is, but 1994, that's what Rikers. So that's what we jump in, and they don't explain nothing. You just got to learn as you go.
Yeah, like as soon as it started, I'm thinking, I know this ain't no prison movie, but it started. It's pretty much I guess her first day out.
Yeah,
she's doing her makeup for her last client that, you know what I mean, that was in jail with her, you know what I mean, maybe her celly or whatnot. So they put her in the scene of New York, the 90s. It feels like the 90s. The clothing,
No.
you know, shit, even the footage, the B-roll felt like the 90s. So
It's definitely 90s. Like it's definitely that feel. And then you could hear like the music they playing.
yeah.
Even some scenes you can hear them talking to Diddy on Hot 97.
Right. Yeah. It puts you there. It definitely sets the scene. You know, in the beginning, I'm like, at first you feel like it's like, what are they when they're trying to introduce a character, like they put so much on her, like every angle of
Mhm.
Teyana Taylor, like every camera was Teyana Taylor. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like you saw her you know, just hustling, you know what I mean, dealing with, I guess, the people that she messed with out before jail. You know what I
You
mean?
can
Like,
tell that the whole neighborhood kind of knew her.
yeah, you could tell, like it gave the vibe of like, you know, shit. She's I don't want to say popular, but
Yeah, she popular.
it seemed like everywhere she went, you know, people knew who she was, and she was, you know, she was outside slanging flyers for
Hmm.
trying to do people's hair. Well, not slanging flyers, but showing people her flyer because she do hair. I'm like, damn, that's an old way to promote anything. You know what I mean? That's super. She in the middle of the street with flyers like, hey, I do hair, nails, I do makeup.
That shit was crazy. It was cars coming by like 60 miles an hour. She
Yeah.
like, hey, girl, you need your hair. Like that ain't gonna that ain't gonna work.
I mean, back then, that was the only way. It wasn't no Instagram. You know what I mean? It wasn't pretty much no cell phones.
Right.
You know what I mean? The people that had cell phones had money.
Right. So you see her hustling like that, and then you seen a group of kids across the street.
Mm-hmm.
She walk up on them, and then one of them just like ain't giving her no, like ain't talking to her at all, but she trying to like check on him. That was her attention. And
Right.
that was the one that's supposed to be her son. We don't know that though. We just see her just walking up like, let me look at you. I just want to make sure you're all right.
Right. Yeah, I definitely didn't think.
No attention.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think it was her son because she just left him back in the street. Like,
Yeah, it was so I assumed it was her son, but she wasn't supposed to be around him.
Yeah, I didn't catch on to that right away because it seemed like he didn't want to be around her. And she was, you know, just still out hustling, bustling. She don't know where this kid was at, you know what I mean, until she found out that from another kid, she had to pay a kid a sour straw to figure out where this boy was. So after she did her hustling and bustling for the day, she, you know, found out information from this kid where that little boy was at, and apparently
No, you jumping ahead. I'm
Am I?
talking when she first encountered. He was there. Remember, she's
Yeah,
talking to him.
no. Yeah. I remember that part. I thought we had passed it.
No, we ain't. No, we establishing that she got a relationship with this kid and we don't know what it is because he
Right.
won't talk to her. So it's like, but then when she's walking away, she pays the other kids and she's like, yeah, don't tell nobody about this.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me think like she ain't supposed to be around them. Like she's in my mind, I'm like, so she did something like you know, they take a child from a mother because she ain't doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he's in foster care and she ain't supposed to be around him. So that's what I just assumed, that like she ain't supposed to, this is her son, she ain't supposed to be seeing him, but he's mad at her for going to jail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you see,
She,
you caught on to that fast because I was just like, I didn't think that was her son at all, only because he was just outside. I didn't know he was in foster care because they didn't say he was in foster. He was just in the street.
no, so the not, I don't know, I didn't know about the foster care part. I'm just saying she wasn't supposed to be around him. So it's like it gave me the feeling. I didn't even know if it was her son yet, but it was like something about this boy. They got a connection. She ain't supposed to be around him, but he's mad that she disappeared and went to jail because she was explaining it. She was like, "Yeah, I'm out." She was like, "I'm out this time for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like I ain't going back." So that's kind of that set the relationship for me. I still didn't know if it was her son or who he was, but I'm like, she's connected to him and she ain't supposed to be around him because even after that, we see them at the park playing. And then she's sitting on the bench, but she kind of looking over there like she want to say something, but she can't.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure. You know what I mean? I knew this shit. Of course, I knew she was gonna have some type of son because I saw the trailer. But I'm just thinking, what's going on with her with this kid, and why is she not like fully? Why is he outside? Period, by himself. That's I guess that was going through my mind more than anything. Because I mean, she could have just been watching him, you know what I mean, all day. Because it seemed like whatever block she was on, everything was going on around in that area. You know what I mean? It was like park was over here, store was over here, her place was over here.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't. She didn't have to like take the train or nothing like that. Yeah.
So and later on, is where they show her walk up to the kids, like, where is he at? That's when he had to be bribed with the sour straw.
I think it was funny that the whoever put this movie together, they didn't make the kids look super made up. Like the little nigga had crumbs on his face. Like, you know how kids be looking hella just like, man, wipe your face off. Like, yeah,
that make it realistic though. That's how it's supposed to be.
It do.
That make it realistic.
I was like, this little nigga got Dorito crumbs all over his face. She bribed him with a sour straw, like, you know, where he at. And he was
like, what I get for it?
Right. It was like he fell out the window because somebody was chasing. Well, his foster mom was chasing him.
Yeah, he didn't want to be there, or something like that. So he jumped out the window. Like, God.
Little nigga Superman. So at this point, like once she found out that information and she went to the hospital, I started to, you know, of course,
piece it together
that this is her son and he's in foster care because they mentioned foster care. You know what I mean? She's not supposed to be around him. Or she didn't want to be, like, you know, full time at least.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that too? Because it's like I'm thinking she's not supposed to be around him, but I'm like, how is she just going up there visiting him if she ain't supposed to be around him? So it gave me the feeling in the beginning she ain't supposed to be there, but then she's just there.
The 90s were also different. You know what I mean?
Too.
It might have been a little easier to go to a hospital and say, hey, I want to visit this little boy, but it still sounds a little unrealistic because, first of all, he's a kid. You know what I mean? So she would have to give some type of identification to go see a child in the hospital.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This shit about to fall. Give me a second.
Hey, I ain't gonna be cutting the whole episode.
We good, man. Keep going. This motherfucker was about to tumble.
So, you know, apparently the boy is, you know, he's upset that, you know, his mom went away. He felt like she left him. And, you know, they're having a conversation in the hospital, and, you know, she's just pretty much telling him that she's, you know, she's not going away no more. And she knows that she can't have him. So it's like she's trying her best to, you know, figure out at that moment, you know, what she's gonna do. You know what I mean? She's
right.
I thought she was gonna leave him at first. Like she had walked away until she turned around and was just like, what you thinking about come staying with me?
Yeah, because she said before that she wrote down her pager number and she was like, I don't know where they moving you to, but keep my pager number because I'm gonna find you anyway.
Yeah.
So it made it seem like he was getting taken somewhere.
Yeah. So at that point you knew that she was, you know, I knew from jump that, you know, she was going to end up taking him. Once she got in there, I was just like, okay, like I know she ain't about to just leave this boy in the hospital and just go on about her day again, because it seems like, you know, she's trying to, you know, start over.
Right.
You know, she wants her son back and she keeps on, you know, trying to find him and looking for him all day. So I'm like, okay, like she's going to leave with him, and she ends up taking him out of a hospital.
Yeah, and like you said, it's the 90s, and she was
I was just like, yeah, how's that work? I mean, it's like, yeah, I like to discharge this boy. All right, yeah, cool, sign the paperwork. You know what I mean? Now, as a matter of fact, just take him.
Yeah, I don't think she discharged shit. I think she just took him, threw a hat on him, some clothes, and just took him. When they're walking through, was she taking him to Harlem and all this shit? Did you get the feel of Pursuit of Happiness?
I wasn't thinking about it until you just said it, but no. I can see where that comes in though.
It gave me that feel because it was like it's like she just took him, no plan. She just took him, and she take him to the streets, go eat and shit. He crying because he want to go. Where are we going? It was like the whole Pursuit of Happiness feeling for it.
Yeah, you know how kids are. They super impatient. You know, while she's trying to figure out things, he's just like, you know, I'm tired of walking. You know what I mean? Like, where we going? You know what I mean? We walking away and shit like that. I be like, look, she was cussing at him.
You was cussing at him, which is a real 90s thing for black parents. You would get cussed the fuck out.
Man, I think that's a black thing, period, at this point. I've been hearing
yeah,
kids get cussed out on TikTok.
I mean, I didn't do it.
You didn't cuss out
I cuss around my kids now, but back then I would cuss my kids out like that.
Yeah, I don't think you should cuss out your kids, but definitely, black parents do curse.
Oh no! So in the 90s, cussing out your kids was a thing.
Your motherfucking ass in the shower.
Yep.
Damn, I hate her.
Shut the fuck up and go in your room. Like,
what'd you say? Nothing. Bitch.
I ain't one of these niggas. I'll beat your motherfucking ass.
She lucky she my mom.
I should go out there. Ooh, I'm a. Ooh. So she goes back to Harlem. So we find out where were they at in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, you talking about which borough or?
Oh, you know what? They said Brooklyn. They did say Brooklyn. She said Brooklyn but she goes to Harlem and she like calling everybody she used to know in Harlem, and she ended up calling her best friend. I'm guessing from when she lived back there.
Yeah, she was at the payphone. I would have been like, yeah, you can't stay here. That one lady was just like, but you can't stay here. I was laughing because I just sound like something that was like, come on, man, you can't just. First of all, you can't come out of jail and come stay with me with your kid, unless you the homie. It didn't seem
and
like
that's what she did.
It didn't seem like she was seeing them. She was just reaching out to anybody until she reached out to her best friend, of course, or her homegirl.
It seemed like she called her because so it seemed like in that neighborhood they was real tight knit. And I say that because her partner, the one that did answer and the one she wanted to stay with, her mom didn't want her staying there, but she kind of felt like she had to. The way she did it was kind of like, you got to stay here because she couldn't stand her ass. Remember, she wasn't even talking to her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The mama or the friend?
The mama.
Oh, yeah. The mama wasn't fucking with her at all.
But it seemed like she was obligated because they even gave a feel like, so after she stayed with her, she's out looking for work or whatever, then she come back, and then that's when she had an exchange with the mama. And the mama was like, you look like a streetwalker or some shit. And then she pushed her. But it was like, that wasn't even enough for her to be like, get out. So I was like, damn, is that her real mom? Or are we missing something here?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell it was all about the little boy because she had a little the mom had a connection with the little boy the whole time. She was just like, you all right? You good? You want something to eat? You like this? You like that? So you could tell that if it wasn't for that little boy with her, she would never let her stay. And let's keep it real. If somebody pushed my mom, I don't give a fuck who it is. Fade. I don't give a fuck what you going through.
Let's touch every wall in here. Mama, watch out.
You can still stay, but we got to run one.
You can't stay.
You ain't gonna let the homie stay after you push him?
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck no.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna let the nigga live. Are you insane?
Yeah, that was out of pocket. I'm not gonna lie about it. Yeah, I'm not gonna let nobody stay after they push my mom.
Nah. But that was weird to me. So that's the way she was talking to her was as if she was talking to her daughter. Cause she like, you act like you don't even see me. She like, you need to grow up. But the conversation was like, it wasn't like this is your friend I'm talking to. This is my other daughter. So I thought it was gonna, because like I said, they just drop you in the world. You don't know who's who.
Yeah.
So I think she's gonna be like, that's my other daughter. I don't care about, or some shit like that.
Right. I just think that was the world back in the 90s, early 2000s. It's like, shit, if you was around another adult, like they were in charge of you. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, you ain't my kid, get the hell up out of here. It was like old school parents, like, hey, come on in. I got some food for you. And treating their child's friends like family.
Yeah, because she'd have damn near been like, you get out, but the boy's staying here.
Right. Yeah. That was, I don't know why she, you could tell that she was just going through it, like anger issues or something, because if somebody's giving you a place to stay, you can't just roll up on them. She came in there and was just like demanding like attention. She said, can you at least act like I'm here? It's like, bitch, I don't gotta do nothing. You room and board? You upstairs? Oh, okay. Shut the fuck up. Pass me a Budweiser out the kitchen. Oh man. So that didn't last long
at all. It couldn't have.
Right.
Then she texts, I guess she told her friend, like, I know somebody else over here. So she dropped her off at these random apartments. And then they went inside, and that's when the little boy was like about to go upstairs. She's like, nah, we don't know nobody here. Mm-hmm. So it's like she guess that was a tribute to her character. She feel like she don't got nobody, but she don't want nobody like to care about her.
Right. She don't trust nobody. She even said at the dinner table, well, not the dinner table, but at the restaurant, she was like, she don't have many friends. That's why I was just like, when she was calling those people, I was like, I think she didn't have that many people that really fuck with her like that. I mean, she might have had a few, but you know, most of those people wasn't like, nah, you cannot stay here.
And her track record, because clearly she had a fucked up track record from all the shit she did in the past, because that was the mom's angle. Like, what the fuck is she doing here? Like, you could tell something happened back then that everybody know her for.
Right. I think they was using her to do their hair. Yeah, you can come up in here, but can you give me a fresh little
want some singles.
Right.
You can't do singles, get the fuck out.
Right.
But she finds random paper. Remember them ticket papers? You pull the tabs. She finds one of those with a 1-bedroom available. That she goes to that place and gives the lady the sob story.
Right. That lady wasn't that lady was funny. I mean, she was just like, so I know a job, you know. She was like, that's 2 hours away. She was just like, hey, all right.
No, I like what she told her before she moved in. She said, I tell everybody else, don't try nothing because I got my 44 cocked and ready.
Wasn't playing. She was like, I have people come in and out of this motherfucker. Like, you can be out too. You in this little black ass boy. You and this little black child. Get the hell up out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that she stays there for a while, right? For a little bit before she gets her own apartment.
There seems like there's some time that goes by because, you know, before you know it, like I felt like she's talking to the lady like she know her. It goes from like introduction to like, you know this lady now, you know what I mean? So the transitions go like they tell you the years in this, you know, but at the same time they don't tell you how many months or weeks have went by.
Right. So you just get it'll I don't want to say it does jump. It just jumps to like you see the kids playing on the floor, the mom hanging pictures. She had just did somebody's hair upstairs. So it's like it's a real family type place. But then like you said, the grandma told her about the job. And I'm assuming she took the job.
At some point, yeah. But in the beginning, she acted like she didn't want it because of the transportation.
Yeah. So she took that job, and then she gets the apartment.
Right.
She gets the apartment, all while keeping the boy inside the house. Like she don't want him going outside for nothing because of course she stole him. She kidnapped him.
Yeah. So at this point in the movie, of course we all know that I'm thinking, you know, okay, she just doesn't want the foster care to find this boy, but at the same time, like, damn, like it's a child. Do kids get taken from foster care like that easy and nobody's looking for them?
I don't know.
Now that she moved to another state.
Yeah, it ain't like she moved out of America or some shit. Or not, like you said, not even another state. It's literally close by. But like you said, they're not really. I mean, one thing is that for one, it's the 90s. For I don't want to speak on foster care because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that it's ever been that easy just to come get a kid. I don't think a kid, first of all, is by himself in a hospital if he's in foster care.
Right, with an adult in there with him.
Yeah, I think that you'd have to have some type of form to even go see him, and somebody's got to be in there with him. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be taking care of him.
So that might go to part of the story of how people are treated in foster care, because it's never a good story when kids come out. They don't ever have I ain't never heard a movie or seen a show where they're like, yeah, I grew up in foster care and it was great. Like I've never seen that. It's always like, man, I grew up in foster care and it was fucked up.
Yeah. Because foster care is like you pretty much. I mean, you can have a family in foster care or whatever. Like you could, you know, but I think like the word foster, I think it's temporary until you get adopted. You know what I mean? It's like your foster family is like you can also be moved again, like they haven't fully adopted you yet.
Right. You're basically a piece of paper.
Yeah.
You just a name on the paper, basically. They don't, for the most part, they don't give a fuck about you. It seems like this is what it seems like. I don't know.
Don't worry what people say. We know the truth.
So she get the apartment, and then I guess the guilt is setting in because she just left this boy in the apartment by herself for a whole fucking day.
Now that's a 90s thing for sure.
Yeah.
That's a 90s thing because nowadays you can't leave your I mean you couldn't do it back then, but I think back then it was more like yeah, like all right, just don't touch the stove, don't open the door, and don't answer the phone unless I come on the answering machine. Like
You know what's funny? Why does it seem like back then you were safer being home? Kids were safer being home alone, and today we got so much technology, but it's still like, man, fuck that. Why does it seem like it was safer back then? Because now we we didn't grow up with no alarms. Now we got alarms and shit and cameras and everything and GPSs. But it's still like, man, I ain't leaving my kids at home alone. Like you still got that hesitation.
there's so many easy ways to find someone now. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know you, so it's like, I can just ask for your information or whatever. But like if I didn't know you and I knew your first name, I could find where you live.
Yeah.
I knew your first and last name, like it's just a simple thing. Don't have a complicated name. I think that's the
Those
worst.
are easier.
Yeah, I think when parents name their kid like Lashinkashay or some shit like that, you're gonna get found. Like, you know what I mean? If somebody want to find you, it's not that many of them.
Right. It's like my son's name is Zoom Meeting Johnson.
Right.
Ain't nobody else in this world named Zoom Meeting. I know exactly whose kid that is and where he's at.
All your shit gonna come up. Facebook, MySpace, Instagrams, anything that you've ever put out, you out there now.
Yeah. So she gets a fake birth certificate from Shiesty Puerto Rican dude. Just to get him in school.
Right. Yeah. So they had to change his name to was it Daryl Raymond?
Daryl. His name was Terry.
How many people gonna be named Terry now? That's like a new movie name because I was like anything I've seen recently, series, movies. Yeah, it's Terry. Like, there's Terry's in every movie now.
Well, you're right, man. It's hard to come up with names, man.
Is it?
It is. It is. It's hard to come up with names that you ain't heard a lot of already.
Saying
that should be hard. But he ends up going to school, and then her dude gets out of jail.
So first I thought that was his biological father because she was talking about him. He was like, I'm gonna introduce him to him one day.
But she asked, so earlier in the movie, her friend asked, was that his son? She was like, is that Lucky's son? And she was like, no, I had him after we broke up.
Right.
So it was like, I knew from that point that wasn't his son.
Okay. Like, I just thought because he was before they said his name, I think that he was just there, and I'm just like, okay, like is this the dad? And he's you could tell he's just one of them niggas fresh out.
Right.
He's not feeling the kid right away.
Right. And who was that other kid that was in the apartment with me?
Probably his.
Was that his or was that the boy
that the old lady's house?
Yeah.
I don't know. They never really said. So I thought that it might either been his kid or they just still cool with that lady and they let him play with the boy. Or the boy just got, friends downstairs.
Okay, so I'm thinking it's the ladies now that I'm thinking about it because of the end of the movie when she says go stay with them. She said go see if you can stay with him and the old lady's name. So I'm thinking that they must be still there in that area.
Yeah, it was probably across the damn street.
It was probably the same building. Shit, she probably was the landlord of that building.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, that part I didn't catch. So maybe that's what it was. But so he's going to school, and then we see the transition. He grows from fucking wait, they get married first. Because first Lucky resents him.
Right, that was weird at first because it seemed like he was fucking with the little boy. He was playing basketball in the living room. I'm just like, okay, like he a good dude or whatever. Then they switched to a scene where he just like, yeah, I don't know if I can do this. You know what I mean? With you and the little boy or whatever. You know what I mean? So, at that point, you think that I don't even think I'm gonna see him again.
It made it seem like that. Knowing how big of an actor he's becoming, I knew he wasn't gonna leave the movie. But in that scene, it made it seem like, nah, he don't want to be no stepfather to no kid, so he's out. Like he don't want to deal with no kid.
Right. Yeah. So he had to get up out of there. But they ended up getting married anyway. They got back together. You know what I mean? It seemed like that relationship was like just a classic ghetto relationship. You know what I mean?
Straight hood relationship.
Yeah, man is in and out.
Yeah. An important part too. When she's mad or where he's like, he's kicking it, and she like, nah, take him to the store.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, you see him pull up on a motorcycle. The lady's like smiling at him, whatever. He's smiling back.
Yeah.
And then inside the house, she like take him to the store. He take him to the store, and they walking back, and the lady like, she like, hey, call me. Like, what's up, Lucky? He's like, what's up? Yeah, you need to call me.
Right.
I like how they tell those side stories without telling those side stories.
Right. I remembered her because of her hair.
Mm-hmm. That bright ass hair.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that's the typical. And it's funny because it's like what we were talking about before, how you couldn't get caught back then.
Not at all. How?
You have to see it.
I mean, a baby was the screenshot. It's just like, you got caught. Like, no, I didn't. Who's this baby?
So I like how they did that. You don't have to see him doing other shit. You just know just by the interactions he's having.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny about like fathers, right? Like, I think fathers, without trying to teach our children stuff, like we just kind of like give them game that we grew up with. And it's not even like nothing big. Like, it could be something as small as like, yeah, stay on this side of the street, or you know what I mean? Do this, hey, make sure you tie your shoes, you know what I mean? Just little small stuff that we do on a regular that we want our, little boys to do. But it's so simple, but that little boy kept that his whole life.
Yeah.
Just those little simple gems,
Because I was telling my wife about that, especially the stay on this side for your safety. I heard that when I was little from somewhere.
Don't even remember.
Don't remember, but I do it. So it's like, and I don't even tell her that. I just like, oh, if we walk into her, I'll just slow up and then walk on the other side, because it's like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. You know what I mean? And the reason it's fucked up. It's like, if a car come, it's gonna hit me first. Which is the fucked up reason, you know what I mean? Like, so ladies, if a man is not standing on the opposite side,
you don't give a fuck about you.
And that's cool though, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be mad at a dude if I saw him walking down the street, because I don't know this story. You know what I mean? Like, he might have kids and she don't. He got some more to live for. Like, I just met her, you know what I mean? You got to be on the other side. You got to get hit by the car. You know what I mean? This is for my wife, my woman. You know what I mean? We got.
That's
kids.
Fucking hilarious.
No, but like, I like at first. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it real. Like, when I was watching the movie in the beginning, with the like, while he was still a young kid, I was just, man, like, how are they gonna stretch this story? I didn't think he was gonna grow up. I thought it was always a little boy.
It's funny that you say that, because I was telling my wife, I was like, at a certain point, I was like, okay, we got to go somewhere with this. Like, I mean, even after the wedding, I was like, all right, now, like, where we going with this? I was about to tell you, like, nigga, you said I was gonna like what's going on.
Yeah.
But then you see him grow up, and then the story kind of shifts, because it's like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if he was gonna stay a kid. I don't know if people was gonna show up like, yeah, you stole him. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So then you see him transition to Baby 50 Cent, and then he's is that the same kid, the one with the earrings?
What you mean? Oh, no. You talking about the one earlier?
Yeah, is that the same kid?
The one that's like kicking the. I don't know.
Like an asshole.
Yeah, that nigga was funny, but I don't know.
Funny.
They look different, but yeah, it could have been. I remember their names.
That nigga told that girl, he doing you a favor.
Yeah, he was just like, midnight. Your ugly ass. I was just like, this little nigga. And funny part, it made me remember, like, niggas like, it was the little light skinned boy with the curly hair that was just a dick.
Yeah.
It was younger. And nigga had the fresh jersey on. I was just like, dang, this nigga right here, boy.
That nigga say, you need to get in that kitchen. Nappy head ass. He doing you a favor.
Right. Nigga was talking hella shit. He couldn't even really kick game to the girl. He was just like,
Then when he sat down, he was like, yeah, I tried to get her like 4 times.
Yeah. Nigga hella hating ass friends, boy. But,
that nigga sent him up there like, man, go talk to her. Dude, he up there, he barking all kind of shit behind him. Like, why?
So just like you said earlier, it's like they gave stories without giving stories. So it's like,
yeah,
you find out that this kid is really bright. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's smarter than pretty much all of his friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's still you can tell that his relationship with Lucky is like he wants it.
He wants that father. He wants that father, but Lucky is
It's inconsistent.
Lucky, yeah, I saw that's the perfect word for it, because he's doing shit, but then at the same time, you find out he's disappearing and he out most of the time, like he ain't even around.
Yeah, and then he, just like I said, there's another story. Like he's blaming the mom, like what you do. You know what I mean? Like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like why Lucky always leaving instead of questioning him, he's questioning the mom.
Right.
I mean, and she don't even want to talk about it. She don't even really respond.
Because the big argument started. She finds out the mom. She finds out he's that smart. Hey, I'm surprised she didn't choke the shit out that teacher, because the teacher was like, "Yeah, he's so bright. I'm surprised you're his mom."
Yeah, I heard that, and she got to look at him like, "What?"
But started that they like, we want him to take a test to go to a special school.
Yeah.
He don't want to. Yeah, he don't want to do it. She talking to Lucky. Lucky, you can tell he just over her shit, because he just like, you know what I mean? It's his decision. No, we need to tell him. We need to force him. And he basically gives her a breakdown, like, you too hard on him. Like, you need to just let him. You need to ease up and let him make some choices. And then he stand up. He about to leave because she getting loud. Because he was like, you're always yelling. She's like, no, I ain't. And she started getting loud right there. And nigga jumped up like, there you go. You're getting loud.
That was a relatable scene to me, not because of what I've been through myself, but more of like I mean maybe because it's like I don't like being don't raise your voice at me. I'll leave.
Boy, if I wrote a Bible, that would be in there. Do not raise your voice at me, because I'm not raising my voice. I'm not gonna raise my voice at nobody.
Yeah, it's like I'm not screaming at you. I ain't gonna never raise my hand to him, but I ain't gonna sit here and let you boy me. Not
at all.
Ever.
You're not finna bark on me.
That nigga threw on his Averex jacket and was
out. But nah, he was like, he was like, you the problem. What he told her something, and it like triggered her. She jumped up and threw that nigga to the stove. I was like, oh, he finna.
I thought he was about to Ike Turner. Right? I swear I was coming. I was happy that it didn't happen, because I'm so tired of like men, like,
yeah,
he's already an inconsistent father. Like, oh, now he beats her too. Here we go, another story like this, right? But
we didn't need that.
Yeah, he just ate it. Just walked out the door like, man, this motherfucker right here, boy. So
yeah.
And here come little, just like you said, little 50 Cent out the door. He was just like, where's Lucky? You know what I mean?
He was like, where are he going?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, damn, like, you know what I mean? In his mind, you could tell he's just like, yeah, you go running off another motherfucking nigga. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't keep a nigga around for nothing.
Then so he gone. Like I said, he always gone, so we don't know where he's going. But
in and out.
Yeah, it seemed like he gone forever, but he always back. The apartment starts falling apart. And you can tell, because earlier they were talking about, that the gossiping on the porch. They like, yeah, they bought that building over. Oh, they tearing that one down. And then we kind of see that too, because I think it transferred to 2011 before he turned to Young 50 Cent. Yeah. So you can see like they trying to redevelop the neighborhood. So they buying out properties and rebuilding shit. Did she get a new landlord? This a nigga just give you sleazing when you first see him.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna help her out at first. I thought he was gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna redo this whole thing. Then he started acting like a dick.
When he started talking like that, whenever somebody trying to make shit seem so easy, it's like, I don't trust you, nigga. Because he walked in like, oh yeah, we'll fix that. He didn't even look at the bathroom. He was like, yeah, we'll get right to work on that. I'm like, oh no, he full of shit.
You see, I thought he was going to prejudge the situation. You know what I mean? I thought he was going to go in there and be just like, man, shit, she bringing down my damn property value. I'm about to get her up out of here. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could tell by the way he walked in, he didn't want to look. He's looking around like this apartment is fucked up, but he's trying to play the friendly role because his goal is to redo the apartments and what's the word they always use? Fucking gentrify. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you can tell that by the white tenant that came out to check the mail. Because remember, he was telling her like, yeah, all the tenants like, we flipped the other apartments, like we basically turned those around.
Yeah. Hey, the neighborhood was definitely changing. Like, if you pay attention, you could tell. You know what I mean? Even when she was kicking it outside, and that white girl was outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's the one you're talking about. The one that was going in the house, and she was asking, have you seen Julio?
Yeah, whatever the fuck his name was.
This nigga said Huevo.
Javier. Javier, the new superintendent who don't fix shit.
Right.
So the apartment is falling apart. Wait, did all that happen? It didn't happen yet, did it? That was later.
I'm trying to think. Did that happen when he was
when he turned to Father MC is when all that shit happened.
So the little the part when he was like, I guess, would you say that's like high school, kind of like late early high school, late middle school, so maybe like when he had the do-rag on the whole time. I feel like that part was maybe shorter than the other parts. I felt like because I didn't feel like he was that younger for a long time. I felt like before you knew it, he was taller.
No, because they switched because he went from the do-rag thing, and then it switched because he turned into Boosie Badass, and he was still trying to talk to the girl. Oh no, that's when he
was Boosie, when he was talking to the girl.
When he turned into Boosie, then they jumped to the hospital when the dad's just laying in the bed and he's looking through the CDs. That's where it was.
I felt like something happened while he was in the do-rag because I mean it went through the school situation. Like he was he didn't know if he wanted to do the school thing or not.
Mm-hmm. You know so what happened was he met Lucky at the playground,
basketball court, and he was just like, "Yo, you got to make that decision for yourself." I think that was like kind of the transition from that age to the next age, the basketball game.
Mm-hmm. That's where it was because he was talking to him, and then he's telling about how he met his mom and how he told her she's the most beautiful in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it's funny because if you don't know what happened at the end, that interaction was weird because before they played basketball, he just like jumped up and he grabbed him. He's like, "Come here." And he's like, "I love you," and he like kissed him on his head.
Yeah,
but it's like it was so random. But then if you know the end of the movie, you know why it was like that.
What you mean as far as like what happened to him?
No, the whole situation.
Okay, just that embrace. You talking about the embrace?
The embrace, because the whole movie he doesn't want to get attached.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to be a good man and a father figure, but at the same time, the situation is like, nigga, like I can't.
He knows the truth.
Yeah, this is fucked up what we're doing, but he like you here at the same time. I'm a man and I gotta be here for you.
Right. So what happens like when he turns into just like you said, Boozy? It was funny because I was just like, I know Lamar's talking shit right now when I saw him. I just knew it. I was like, I know when he sees the movie, he'll be just like this nigga.
I was leaning over to my wife. I was like, this nigga look like Father MC. And I was like, oh, this nigga look like Boosie.
He did look like Boosie. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He look like Boosie. But so you see he's kind of wearing the girl down finally.
Yeah, he's pretty much just not he ain't taking no for an answer, you know what I mean? Instead of like, because I would have hung up the phone after she'd have been like, damn nigga, leave me the fuck alone. I'd have been like, all right, bye.
Yeah, like fuck you. Yeah.
And he was like, well shit, can I, you know what I mean? Can I kick it to you tomorrow? I mean tonight? He was like, all right, fine, you know. And he finally got the date with old girl. You know, she put mustard on her French fries, which is hella weird.
That was weird as fuck.
Mustard, barbecue sauce, and ketchup. I'm like,
yeah, that's in my theater. I know you said in your theater you didn't have nobody. In our theater, it was a bunch of older black people. Mm-hmm. This is where the niggas start turning on. It's like when one nigga get a chuckle, then the niggas come out because it was like he was putting the sauce on the fries. Everybody was like, it was one nigga like, ugh. And then everybody started laughing, and then all the conversation started happening. Then it was just like you hear all kind of sound effects in the audience from the niggas.
Damn, son, just like, man, she crazy.
Not like that, but you know, like the church sound effects, like
I hate people that talk in the movies, nigga. And I'm gonna keep it real. My wife is a talker in the movies. I'll be just like,
you go ahead. You go ahead. I don't mind you whispering a comment or two, but don't have a full-on conversation.
Don't say nothing. We in the movie. They tell you to turn your phone off, man. They say turn the phone off, be quiet, be you know, cool. I mean, just make sure that you don't disturb anybody else around you. And they I mean it didn't be me.
Nah.
I was just sitting there like I told my wife, I'm thinking in my head, I was like, I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna figure out where she don't want nobody to say nothing. I'm gonna go to church and I'm gonna be like, you heard? Yes.
It don't bother me. Sound effects don't bother me. It's the talking. It's like I said, it could have went left because normally if somebody laugh at a nigga joke in the movies, then that nigga feels like this is my time to be a stand-up comedian.
Right, exactly. You're right.
So I'm glad that didn't happen. It was just more sound effects. But before that, it was always silent.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like the church moans came on.
So the church moments.
Yeah, it was like
We know it.
So he's decided. Well, he didn't actually decide on nothing because he was talking about the girl asked him what he wanted to do. He's like he wanted to be a composer for movies.
Yeah, because he was already in that school at this point. Like that, once the transition happened, he went to that school already.
Oh no, I'm talking about for college because remember he was making it for college.
I was talking about that tech school. Before
he was in there.
Yeah, he was already in that school when he was making the decision as a younger kid.
Yeah, he was in there. But as far as him deciding on college, because I guess he got accepted to hella colleges.
Mm-hmm. He didn't know what he wanted to do. I mean, it's like most children, most kids. You know what I mean? It's like you really don't know, especially in his situation. Like he was still trying to figure out what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and the one man he wanted to be like didn't go to college, so that was like in his mind. He like, man, fuck, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's funny how like a kid, like his mom was there the whole time, right? Like, you know what I mean? He wanted to be like the person that was the least in his life. I mean, like,
yeah,
and I feel like that's just like a boy thing. You know what I mean? Like you attach yourself to the male figure that's around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if they're only there for a short time or in and out, it's just like, man, I want to be like this guy. This guy is cool. You know what I mean?
Right. He's easygoing. He's cool. He don't bring me no drama. Basically, his mom was the drama of his life.
Mm-hmm. Even though she was the one putting in all the work.
She's the one sacrificing everything for him. But
she got no credit.
Yeah, all you see is the negative. You don't see all the positive shit. You don't see her breaking her back for you. You just see the negative. I got in trouble. When I get in trouble, it's her.
Right. So at this time, while he's boozy, like that's when the whole thing is going to shit. Like the house is falling apart. You know what I mean? And you know, he's trying to get money to help.
So I think there's laws against what that dude told her when he was like, just move out. There's laws against that. But it's like, but I think her thing was she wanted to be low key. That's why she didn't want to, because he was like, why you just gonna let him get away with that? In her mind, she like, my hands is tied. I can't really bring no attention over here.
Exactly. You know what I mean? She didn't want no cops in there.
You
know, getting rowdy for no reason. So, you know, her son felt that he needed to do something.
He needed to get some money.
Yeah, in order to help his mom
out. When he went to her, I was like, fuck. I was like, that's the wrong person to go to.
Yeah, young Jasmine Guy. I thought it was Jasmine Guy at first. I was like, nah, can't be.
Nah, I almost said some disrespectful. She don't look like Jasmine Guy.
Not anymore. But yeah, once he's talking to the lady, I knew that it was going downhill because he's just like, oh, you know, he went to go get that fake paperwork. I thought he would have known at this point as a young adult that's not real. His real name is Terry. He knew that.
He knows. So I feel like, and that's what confused me because I'm like, he knows that's not his real name. And he knows by how he reacted when the lady blasted him on it. But I'm like, why not just get the paperwork from your mom? Like, why are you hiding the fact you want to get a job? Like, why was he even doing that?
Yeah, that was the weird part because I was like, know that you can get in trouble for this, you know what I mean? But in his mind, he didn't know the ending. Like how we know right now, like what's real was really real. He thinking like, well, shit, this mom's, I could, maybe it's not a big deal.
No, he knew throughout his life because that's why she kept asking about the cops pulling him over. He knew throughout his life he's on the run. Like he's because remember he asked, he was like, why ain't nobody coming to look for me? He asked this when he was little.
Right. Yeah.
So he knew he's going illegally. He knows the reason why I can't use my real name is because of this.
Right.
But it was like, so I don't know if he thought maybe the paperwork was good enough for him to go get a job, but it was like either way, ask your mama. Like don't just grab that and run in there.
I think it's because he was also his birthday was in a couple of weeks. He was gonna turn 18, so he was like, he even said he was like, well, shit, I'm about to turn 18 in a couple of weeks anyway. It don't matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like
what he was thinking.
I'm an adult now. You know what I mean? So once they got the paperwork in and shit, a couple minutes later, you figure out, oh, this is not legit paperwork. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
this name is not even real. And
yeah.
that's
Social
when
security number ain't even real.
that's when he dimed himself out. I'd have just walked out.
But you can't because she has the paperwork. Well, no, you're absolutely right. Because she said, "What's your real name?"
Yeah, he didn't have to tell her all that.
He did not. He
Yeah.
did not. But like I said, even then he knew because he's like, "No, don't call nobody. It's all right. It's good. It's all right." It's like you knew you fucked up.
Yeah. I was I was conflicted on whether he was a good actor or not because he had some moments, and I was like, okay. And then he had some other moments. I was just like, this nigga's new. not to not,
I was
not to shit
I
on
was
nobody's acting, but it just seemed like at certain points I was just like, this nigga right here, boy. But then there was other moments I was just like, okay. It was
so
like,
the reason why I think he was good is he kept the same personality of the little kid. As a grown man, as a almost grown man, he kept the same personality. Like the kid was kind of like shy in the way he spoke.
Mhm.
He was doing that in that scene because he's like, it's good, it's all good. Like he's like naive.
I thought he was gonna steal on her. No, no, I said no, it's cool. I cuz.
Like the motherfucking phone up right now.
Told you, bitch. I'm good.
So look, just rewinding it. When he grabbed that paperwork, the way he snuck it out of there, like he snuck in the apartment and grabbed it and snuck it out. I leaned to my wife, no bullshit. I said, he gonna find out that's not really his mom.
Yeah. See, it didn't register yet. I just when he grabbed the paperwork, I'm just like, okay, like what the fuck is this nigga doing and why? Why is he
just for the fact, yeah,
taking fake paperwork to his mom got it in the way for a reason, nigga. What are you doing? Oh, well, at that point, there's no cell phone, so maybe he can't contact her at the moment.
But the way he did it was like if she was there, he wasn't gonna ask for it.
That's true.
Because he walked in, he like, Mom, like he's like, he ain't even fully in the door, but he's like listening and looking around. Then he ran to grab it.
Yeah.
But when he grabbed it, I leaned to her. I was like, he gonna find out it's not his mom.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
At that point. So I was like, to spill the beans. I mean, we already know that these are spoiler reviews, but that ain't his motherfucking mama, man. So now I'm quite confused at that moment because I'm just like, okay, I'm feeling for this lady, the whole movie. You know what I mean? She's trying to take care of her son. You know what I mean? She's just doing whatever she can, but it's technically not your responsibility.
So it's like it makes your mind rewind through everything we just watched.
Everything. Like you just went through it.
Yeah.
But low key, like you like right now, okay, like I commend it, right? Like that's a good deed to do. But at that moment when she was fresh out of jail, she had nothing. And it was harder for her to move around with with a boy. You know what I mean? You got a felony, you got this little boy, which you can't do everything that you want to do. But she took, and she put him in danger a lot of the times. You know what I mean?
Lot of the times. I was thinking, so I don't want to say I was hoping, but I was thinking when they said that's not your real mom, there was still going to be some kind of family connection. Like this actually your sister or you know what I mean? One of those. But it was just worse and worse because they're like, yeah, we don't know where your family is. You don't have no, she's not connected to you at all.
Like in that moment, I felt for the little boy so much. Like even though I ain't never went through nothing like that, I was just like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that feeling to know your whole from when you were younger to now being an 18-year-old, man. You ain't got no relatives, nigga. Like your mom is not your mom for real.
And the way it was presented, he's sitting in this apartment where you can't find your mom has vanished. And then you being told, like, yeah, that lady wasn't your mom. It's just like, wait, what? Nigga, like you're sitting there and it basically with nothing, and they're telling you, hey, we're just gonna throw you somewhere until you turn 18, basically.
Right. So they, ain't no way in hell I'm 17 and a half. I'll turn 18. They're gonna put me anywhere. Like I would have snuck out that same night.
And that's what he did.
Yeah. It was like, ain't no way, boy. Like, I don't know, like, y'all got me fucked up. I'm an adult. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have ran away at that moment. But
it's like, so that's where his acting, like, he was selling it because he called the lady. I'm like, that ain't even your real auntie, but this is all you know.
That's all he knew or whatever.
So he like, auntie, because she like, you ain't been at the foster home. He like, auntie, I don't know. I can't go there. I don't have nowhere to go.
Yeah. So when he goes back to the house to get some of his stuff, the mom is there super nonchalantly just going through shit like ain't nothing happened, but she knows she wrong.
Hey, she told her, she said, man, I know they already got in your head, so go ahead and go.
Just go ahead, go about your business, go get your shit or whatever. Like, I'm just like, damn. Like, so he's sitting there like just taking it all in. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
she knows she caught. You know what I mean? At this point, she feels like she's gonna be judged for what she did.
mm-hmm.
And and he's like, this is where it kicked in for me. Like, I was like, damn, that shit kind of, it was a tear didn't fall, but it was one of the ones.
Hey, when I tell you both of their speeches,
yeah,
boy, that's what I was doing in the church and was like, but she was
like,
breaking it down. Yeah, that's like,
I was eating my nachos like
it's just, so it's crazy. Whoever wrote this, it's crazy how they still had the mother-son respect.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like confused on it because she went to say, she was like, you want to talk? Let's talk. She's at the table. She was like, he came and sat down. She was like, go over there, get my cigarettes. He like, you was just over there, go get him.
Yeah.
It's like he still had in his mind that respect. He's still calling her mom.
Exactly. That's all you know. You know what I mean?
And the way she broke it down to him,
mm-hmm.
like, I had nothing and I saw you with nothing. She's like, I found you. I'm the one who found you. And she said, I know they told you I left you. I'm the one who found you in that fucking corner. It was standing there with you for hours.
That shit was deep, bro.
That shit was deep as fuck. For her to break it down the way she did and why she did it, I was like, God damn. But then his return speech, like, damn, so I'm supposed to erase everything? He like, this is our house. So you telling me this ain't our house? That ain't my room right there?
Yeah, you telling me this ain't real? You know what I mean? This living room, shit,
man,
everything. That shit right there, boy, nigga. Made a made an old nigga teary eye for a second. I'm like, damn.
I'm readjusting my seat, like, I'm thinking of a joke to tell at that moment. Like, I got to say something funny right now because this shit, boy.
yeah. So that whole part, like, you know, it brought the movie almost pretty much to a close. You know, them having that moment, you know what I mean, that same respect that he still had for his mom at that point, finally kind of, you know, well, it still ended in a way where I'm just like, okay, like what's going on, you know what I mean? Because she's still leaving, but
so
you know,
I thought after them having that sit down, that speech, the talk, he comes, he gets all his shit, and he sits by her on the couch, like, what we both like, what do we do now?
Yeah,
I'm thinking they're going to run away together.
I thought that too. So when they were walking, but you know, he is about to be 18 or whatever, but it just wasn't made clear what was about to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she knew she had to go somewhere because I don't know if is she on the run now? You know what I mean? Are they looking for her to
this is what's funny about you asking about them not looking for him. Even with that reveal, she kidnapped him from all these years. She was still able to walk back in that same apartment, sit there, have a full conversation. So it's like they don't give a fuck so much that they just moved on with life. They threw him in a foster home and moved on with life.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, so the question is, the ultimate question for this movie was she wrong?
From jump, I would say yes and no. Only it's hard to just say yes, she was wrong. It's hard to just say no, she was wrong. You know what I mean? Or she wasn't wrong, because I mean, she helped the little boy. I mean, she said like her ultimate goal at the end of the day was like she won because he's going to grow up to be somebody.
Right.
And if he would have stayed in the, you know, the foster system or the system period, he wouldn't have had nothing. He might have not
ended up like her.
Right. Exactly. And then you have the fact that she used to leave him home. You know what I mean? And he probably wasn't taken care of like early on. You know what I mean? Something probably could have happened to him worse just being in the house by himself.
Also, he jumped out of a window with the foster parents.
That's true too. So I mean, he was gonna be in danger regardless, I guess. You know what I mean? But I think I think she was right just to help him out, but it's hard to say, man. I'm trying to figure out why she did what she did more on the like, damn, that was a lot for you. You know what I mean?
But
Like
it was it was so in her mind, it was worth it.
yeah, of course. I mean, she said it at the end. It's like she saw her. I mean, she saw herself in him, and she figured out if she didn't help him, then But at that moment in the beginning, before she even had anything, it just seemed like she didn't even know what the fuck she was doing.
Right.
She just
So I would say she's not wrong. So the way I see it, if she didn't take him, her path was fucked up anyway. So her taking him, though it's going to be fucked up in the beginning, in the long run, is going to be all right because I care about you. So when it seems like when kids go to foster care, like I said, their name on a piece of paper, at any time I can send your ass back. So that connection, that real connection of wanting you here is not always the case. It's some people that do it for the money. It's some people that do it just to try it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that care ain't there. So she gave him the care he wasn't gonna get from nobody else anyway. Like nobody else is gonna give him. She loved him in a way that nobody else could love him.
Right. And I think that's where it's just kind of difficult because it's like there's so many kids out in foster care, right? You know what I mean? And it's like all of these kids are going through the same thing old little boy went through. You know what I mean? So why him?
It's just that, but
there was hella kids on the street going through the same thing. You know what I mean? But she picked that one. You know what I mean? And she said even at the end, she was like, maybe she needed him more than vice versa.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like she was looking for something.
She was looking for somebody to love her because she didn't have that love.
So was she wrong for that?
No. Because one thing about being a parent that kids notice is somebody caring about them. You could give them the world. That's why rich kids hate their parents, because they buy them everything. But if that love ain't there, what are we doing? Like that's the main ingredient in being a parent. So even though they struggled and all of that, he still got that love. It was tough love. It was all of that shit. All of that shit doesn't matter in the grand scheme if you don't got nobody that cares about
you. Yeah, no, I feel that she did a good thing, but it could have went left.
It could have went left. Everything should have, could have, would have. Everything.
And it's like now that he knows, he found out later on in life, that might hit him hard. That might, him having somebody and then losing that somebody that he's had all his life, and now having to lose that person again might affect him more than anything.
It could, but at the same time, the position he's in, he can start his life.
You know when that trauma kick is? When you like 25, 30?
Yeah.
Everything that you went through growing up is just like he might grow up to be somebody, but there's still a chance that all of that in and out of his life, the inconsistency of Lucky, and then the mom kind of like whoa, like you've been lying to me my whole life.
Which is, like I said, it's going to fuck him up. But it could have fucked him up with him being, he could be Lucky. He could be in and out of jail if he kept doing the foster shit, because he's little and running away. He's little and jumping out of windows because he don't want to be there. So that's the path he was on already.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have nobody to love or take care of him. Even when the reveal happened, the teacher that cared so much about him, remember the one that's so close, I want to help you out, I want to do all of this. Even she was like, after the reveal, like, yeah, so just put him in the foster care. Let's move on.
Right. Yeah. She's thinking that she's keeping the kids safe.
And you're not. It's like if he's telling you, I'm good, I'm about to be 18, I'm good, just leave the shit alone. Like, why do you have to be like, oh no, I need to call this and she needs to get in trouble? Like, mind your goddamn, if he's all right and he's almost 18, what can you do about it anyway?
Yeah, I think it didn't make it any better that like the mom wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like once everything was said and done, like she disappeared.
Yeah, she disappeared. But then it's like, it's really fucked up because you can't even find the real parents. Like you can't even find his real family. There's nobody.
Yeah.
So it's like, let us take this person you've grown to love. Let us take him out your life too, and throw your ass in foster care, and you'll be in jail in a minute anyway.
Yeah, like I was just like I said, I would say she's more right than wrong. I think the only wrong thing was to like lie to him the whole time. Maybe she, as he got a little older, he could have like what would have been wrong with her saying like, "Hey, I'm not your biological mother, but like I've been raising you, this whole time, and it's like, you all I got. I'm all you got. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I'm gonna try my best to make sure we good and keep you out of the system so you won't be in foster care. I feel like a kid will understand that, especially if
I
you
was about to,
treat it right. Especially if
I
being
was about
treated.
to say that. I was about to say that. So with her presentation, she could have been like that. She could have been just his friend from around the way,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of him. I'm looking out for you. She could have just been that. She didn't have to play the "I'm your mom" role, because
Yeah.
I think he would have. But then I don't know.
But she also didn't. I mean, we got to give her credit that, like, she, well, not credit, but she didn't know no better either. You know what I mean? It's not like she was the brightest person. You know what I mean? She was just trying to make it. She was trying to do the best that she could with what she had, and she was trying to save this boy. You know what I mean? Whether some of it was selfish, you know what I mean? She, at the end, saved him from being in the system.
Pretty much, and gave him a better life. So does he get to go to college still?
I don't know. And that's the thing that kind of was like a cliffhanger with the movie. You know what I mean? It was like she had to dip because I think she's pretty much a fucking like
He's
she's
on the run.
runner on the run, and he's older. He can take care of himself now, kinda. But there's a big chance that he can get off into these streets again.
Very big chance. It depends on that college. Does he get to steal all his education that he learned, the whole path he's been on? Does that get to continue with his real name now?
Don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how that works. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, because first of all, he couldn't even get a job. You know what I mean? So now he's got to figure out how to, he's got to get his ID, Social Security, and apply all over again.
Because she even told him, she said, she was like, if you try to go to college with that, that's a federal offense.
Mm-hmm. And he's still a bright kid, so he's probably gonna get into a college for sure if he wants to. You know what I mean? But
yeah, but it's like I'm wondering, do they keep those, because those credentials he still earned?
Yeah.
So it's like, and it, knowing it ain't like he faked his identity. It wasn't on him. It was on the kidnapper.
Yeah. So, but all in all, like, what do you feel the movie was? Do you feel like there was something they were trying to push message wise, or do you feel like it was just a story, a good story?
Fuck. Message wise, yeah, love is hard, I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was some tough. They went through some tough shit, but that love was still there. Tough love, like fucking hard love, regardless, the love was still there.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out. Other than I feel like some movies just don't have a good storyline, so they have to depend on putting these messages and shit under it. But I feel like this is just a good story about a mother that loves his. Well, not even. I mean, she wasn't a mother technically, but a young lady that's trying to get her life together, cares for this little boy. She takes him in and tries to give him a better life than she had in the story.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I
Yep.
feel like they didn't shit on men in this movie. Just he was an inconsistent father. He was there, and he gave the boy what he gave him, and but she also was there to love on him. You know what I mean?
So,
to make sure he always had love in his life.
right. So he was there to give him what he could give him. At the same time, knowing the situation, how in it can you be?
Right, because he knew that wasn't her son. So
He knew she kidnapped him. He knew the whole thing.
yeah, I think that's why. I think that was why he was frustrated in the beginning. It's like, I can't do this. That's not even your real son. You know what I mean?
Because he said that ain't my fucking son, and he said I didn't sign up for this shit.
Yeah, but he was also off in them streets. He also made another baby.
Had a whole daughter up the street with the lady he said hi to when he was walking with him.
Yeah, and the boy at that time, he was just like, what you mean that's what you mean that's Lucky's daughter? Wait a minute. He started calculating in his mind, like, wait a minute, that little girl like 3. He was with you when he was born. Like, what the fuck? Like, you could tell he was like, he found out that pretty much the nigga that just passed away wasn't shit.
And the ironic thing is she knew about the daughter because she just looked over there and was like, come over here.
Make him a plate. She was like, make him a plate.
Yeah.
And I give her that too as a mother. She could have really shitted on him the whole time that they was together, but she never did.
Yeah.
She never shot on Lucky. Like she knew that he had a relationship with this guy, Lucky, so he never made him look bad.
Right. And she told him that. She was like, you get to be the superhero. You get to be the positive one. Knowing what you're doing out there.
Yeah. Even though he was off in them streets, but technically, like, it wasn't his responsibility either. You know what I mean? And
he was married.
But he was married to her, and he did say to him, like, yo, I'm always gonna be there and love you and your mom. So he did promise him that. So I mean, once you did that, like, you know, which he was there, he just did nigga shit.
Nigga shit. This is typical hood nigga shit.
Yeah, he went and had another baby, and you know, he was there all the way up until he passed away from cancer. But anyway, yeah, I don't feel like there was like no real deep message other than the fact that the movie's named from her saying that she has 1,001 niggas fucking her.
No.
It was just like, I had 1,001 niggas on this pussy.
The funny thing is, me and my wife talked about it. That 1,001 was the apartment.
I know that too, but it was like, yeah. But she also said, she was like, shit, I had 1,001 niggas on this pussy. I'm like, wait, what? That's what
she said before I got you, I had 1,001. What did she say? 1,001 niggas all on me or some shit like that.
1,001 niggas. This was my playground. My body was a playground for 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? That's what they named the movie after, but it was for the apartment number 2.
That's what you tell your son?
Yeah, he was just like, nasty. Yeah, shout out to Teyana Taylor for this, for her act, because I feel like she acted her ass off in this pretty well.
Yeah, it was about time she got one of these, because everything I see her in, she's great at like funny scenes and funny movies.
She's hella underrated.
Hella underrated
musically for sure. As far as her, I don't know, this is not her debut act, because she acted in like Madea movie.
No, she was in a Madea movie. She was in a movie with T.I. and fucking T.I. and Mike Epps. She's whatever other scenes other shit I've seen her in, she's hella fucking funny, like all the time.
Yeah, like a multi-talented, you know, artist. But yeah, she did a good job in this. This whole movie was good.
This is a damn good movie.
Yeah. You want to get to the rating?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be hard.
No, it's not. Go ahead and rate it.
I'm gonna give it a
right.
I'm gonna give it a
This nigga's a goddamn lie.
Like, what? Right. No replay value though.
I'm replaying it.
I don't think I will watch it again. But it was like one of those, I think we discussed this before. Like, you could watch a movie and just feel like you don't have to watch it again. Now, it's one of these. You watch it with somebody that hasn't seen it.
Yep, it's definitely one of those.
I'm not going to just turn it on. I'm not going to turn it on at the house. Like, oh, I want to see that again.
So the thing is, it's for me, it's one of the movies I want to see at least one more time. Like, I just want to see it at least one more time in the comfort of my home.
No, I don't mind seeing it again. I just want somebody to be with me.
So somebody that ain't seen it.
Right. Somebody's just like, you know, hey, this movie, this shit is on HBO Max. You know what I mean? Check this shit out. It was a good movie. I'll watch it with you kind of situation. Like, I will watch this movie with my daughter. You know what I mean? She's a teenager, or she's about to be 16 years old. I'll watch this movie with her. I can see this being one of those, but just by myself. Like, it reminded me not the same type of movie at all, totally different movies. But you ever seen Fruitvale Station?
Yep.
I don't want to watch that movie.
I've only watched that once.
I love it, but I don't want to watch it no more.
I don't want to watch it no more because what happened at the end?
I mean, real shit. It's just more of like, but it was like a one-time watch. Great story. Maybe in another, because you always watch movies later on in life. Like maybe in a few years, I might be like, oh shit, this.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's not like when I'm rushing to when it drop on video, but I'm going to want to watch it at least one more time at the house. If it's alone, it don't matter.
Yeah, and I might pick up on other shit that I didn't see. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the fact that the title is What She Said and the apartment number. I feel like that 1001 is more in the movie somewhere.
You think so?
I don't know, but for those two things, I feel like that was. I feel like maybe it was on some street signs I didn't see. You know what I mean? Just a little small.
Hey, dog. My dumb ass was like, was it 1001 days? My wife was like, well, she had him for longer than 3 years, so that's.
I was doing it for y'all. Was trying to add it up. Like, shit, let me see.
When she said that, I was like, shit, you right.
Yeah, man, good ass movie.
It's a damn good movie.
You leave the theater with like, damn. You leave it with one of those.
You definitely leave the theater conflicted on if she was right or wrong, because the reveal is she did kidnap a kid, but her reasons behind it is like, damn, she's right.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. I mean, I wouldn't be upset at anybody that says she was wrong, other than like if she was wrong. I wouldn't say she was wrong for taking him and raising him when he was going, like he was being treated bad in foster care. But if you want to say she's wrong with leaving him in the end, then I agree.
Okay, so but she had to, or she was going to jail. It's kind of reminiscent.
Well, I'm sorry, not leaving him at the end, but more of like not telling him about it earlier.
Right, earlier, yeah, she could have had that conversation, which could have went left or right.
Yeah.
The fucked up thing is she couldn't approach the foster people and be like, I'll be a better mother to him, because they'll never do that. On paper, they know everything that's right. It's kind of like when a parent goes through something, parent get a felony, now you can't be a parent no more because we said so.
Yeah.
So it's like the rules that are in place for people taking care of people. But anyways, damn good movie. Everybody is definitely recommended. Like, subscribe, share, talk about it, talk to us. We'll talk back to you
all day.
We out.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube and Spotify and follow us on IG and TikTok.